Today's episode, we're going to show you how we're making $500 in passive income per month from a Bogus website and show you how you can do it as well. This is Joe and Mike from buildassetsonline.com. Let's get started right away. The first thing I want to talk about, Mike, is how we made this website and why we made this website. And it's kind of a funny story. So inside of our course, which kind of includes all of the business models that we teach, high-ticket dropshipping, blogging, Kindle publishing, inside of this course, I actually made this website as an example for our students to show off something very particular. What I was showing off is how to design a website site structure properly to get the most traffic from Google. And we're going to get into this a little later, but most of this, all this website's traffic comes from Google SEO organically, totally passive. There's no paid traffic or anything like that. So I made this website for that purpose, for our students. I didn't really take it seriously at the time, but then so I made it, I left it, I noticed, it's getting, a couple hundred visitors a month. And basically what happened was we had a writer from the Philippines that I didn't really have any work for him anymore. And he's like asking me for work. And I was like, you know what? Like, I didn't want to just fire him because, I like having him on the team. Like, he's pretty valuable and he can only work like part-time, like 30 hours a week or whatever. I was like, you know what? You want to do some work for me? I'm going to give you a bunch of pages to make for this website, a bunch of topics to cover. Go do this. I didn't even pay attention to what he was doing. I just gave him the keywords to write about. And then month over month over month, the site grew. And so let's pull up the Google. Nick, if you could pull up the Google Analytics, let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. So, I started the site. Let's see when the first traffic hit. It was like late 2020. January 2021 was when it got like almost 2,000 hits that month. And then if you go month by month by month, where were we at in February of 2022, last month? Let's just go all the way to the end, Nick.
Right here?
Yeah. So we're at almost 70,000 users last month. And I only started taking this site seriously, or more seriously than I'm taking it now, probably around 6 months ago. So that's kind of a little bit of the history. So I want to talk about the types of keywords we're going for this website so that you can figure out how to find these keywords on your own. And we're going to show you some examples in a little bit. So this is what I like to call a query-based or a question-based website. And what that basically means is the website has a theme of the types of keywords that it goes for. Did you understand what I'm saying with that, Mike, or not really?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Should we talk about the example now to get people to kind of understand exactly what we're talking about?
Yes.
That'd be helpful.
Yeah, sure. So I actually thought of another example, which I'll just throw it out there just to show, what we're talking about. So like if you type into Google, Nick, head over to Google for a second. If you type into Google, type is spicy. Okay. Now go in between is and spicy and press A. So now we're coming up with all these crazy keywords that you can go after. So is andouille sausage spicy? And actually, Nick, type that in. Go back to A. We have our producer is a complete beginner at building websites and SEO. So the truth is we're showing you how we can do it. So go press A.
There you go.
Click andouille sausage spicy. Let's go to that. And we could see that there's really the second thing, this home kitchen talk, is kind of doing what we were doing for this site, answering the question, is it spicy? And you can imagine that if you take this keyword theme and scale it out, there's probably tons and tons and tons of keywords that you can go for very quick. The articles are very simple to write, and that's kind of what we're doing for this site in the example. And the crazy part is go over to Ahrefs, Nick, the thing with the A, the middle one. The crazy part is you can kind of see if you go towards the end of the graph, Ahrefs underestimates the traffic, but if you go towards where we're at now, you can see that sharp spike in traffic. And the crazy thing is as we go for more of these super long tail keywords, so like I'll use that example, is the andouille sausage spicy, you can end up on page 1 for like andouille or something crazy. And that's kind of the theme that we've observed. So I want to talk about now how you can make a similar website, how you can do this, virtually for free. And, you start doing this now, you have an hour or two to spare a day. And by the way, Mike, I'm not going to recommend this business model to someone that has some money to invest. If you have money to invest into building an online portfolio, I highly recommend you start with high ticket dropshipping, just because this does take a while to ramp up. And, high ticket dropshipping, if you do it right, you could start now, make a sale next month, make $1,000 off that sale, and, you get rolling much quicker. This takes a while to ramp up because we're talking about Google organic traffic. But let's talk about how you can make a similar website. So, Nick, head on back over to Google for a second and delete that. And I'm going to actually blow up a website idea that my good friend had, and he was working on this. And I don't care that I'm blowing it up because he had this great idea. He gave up on it. So I'm putting it out there for the public to check out. And it's actually, I guess, kind of a pertinent topic in today's environment. So the query that I found interesting was, is X made in China? So, Nick, type that in. Type is made in China. Now go back to the is, between is and made, and press A. Is Apple made in China? Is Advil made in China? Is America... so go, just click a
This is just A.
This is just A. It's not even... Go down.
Armor thyroid.
Go past the... So if you look at this page, if you look at this search result, no one on this front page is specifically addressing with their page title is Armor Thyroid made in China.
Right.
And so, this query, I think, might be kind of tough because it's like a medical thing. But literally, you put out 300, 400 words on this, specific to if it's made in China, I think you'd end up on page 1 for this and end up getting a lot of search results for it.
Right, and this is why we're saying it's bogus, because it's not like you need all these SEO skills to do it, or you got to pay for all these backlinks, or have a really expert writer. This is literally just a couple hundred words answering a question, and you'd be surprised at the volume that these certain things have. And since no one's answering the question, you don't need a lot of authority, or your website authority doesn't really matter because you're the only one answering the question.
Yeah.
So
some of the great things that I like about these keywords, Mike, is you get a lot of natural backlinks for these.
that's true too.
Because you have people researching this for a greater article. You might have a reporter trying to assess, is Louis Vuitton made in China?
Yeezy foam runners.
Where are they? Are they made in China?
I don't know. Where is Yeezy made?
I have
Look
no
it up.
idea.
Is Yeezy...
No, type it are made in China.
There you go.
Boom. Look at that.
Are Yeezys true to size?
And look at that. Oh, Mike.
Oh, no.
I want to show you one thing that is kind of a really good sign. The fact that Quora is coming up position 2 for this keyword.
That shows that it's open for the taking, because Quora, I mean, it's just like, it's like Reddit being there, or like a forum post being there, right?
Right. And if you have a website that's dedicated to is something made in China versus a random post on Reddit or on Quora, you have Google views you as an authority because you're talking about over and over again what things are made in China and what aren't. So, that is a very good sign.
And Joe, these websites are monetized primarily with ad networks, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we are using an ad network on this site. The only issue that I see for this site is that I'm talking about the site that we're talking about that we made. The RPMs right now are kind of low because I don't know if I can get into like Mediavine or AdThrive with this website. I might be able to. I'm going to wait till the traffic's a bit higher to apply, so I have more.
And for
leverage.
the listeners, Mediavine, AdThrive, those are typically going to bring you in more revenue per visitor than, say, the typical Google AdSense, or there's other networks like Ezoic, et cetera, that are, you can apply at any time, but they're not going to be as high return.
But it's also dependent on the page itself. So if you have a product-focused page, we talk about this all the time. If you have a page talking about legal fees and all the ads are for lawyers, the cost per click and the cost per showing an ad for a lawyer is going to be way higher than something like this. Well, this might actually give a high RPM because you're talking about shoes.
Right. So yeah, the Yeezy stuff, yeah, there's going to be probably, different retailers competing and stuff like that. The website that we have, it's not really connected to anything that's like a consumable.
Right.
Or anything you would buy.
Exactly. So, so the downside is the RPMs, I think, might be lower than other websites that we make. But the upside is that I have thousands and thousands and thousands of pages to be made.
Yeah.
And I can make these pages for $5 to $10 a page.
Right. And yeah, so it's super cheap in terms of getting the articles done and scaling it. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, our goal is to make these websites and, flip them. And so it's really good when you see that there's all this potential out there. So you can, put in a bunch of money and then say, wait 12 months. And I mean, it was like you saw the graph just spikes up. And then, that's when you want to be like, all right, should I sell this website or what do I do with it?
And I didn't even start taking this website more seriously, probably up until a few weeks ago when I had another writer. I'm kind of I'm slowing down content on another site. And this guy, wanted the work. And I was like, look, I was paying him a little more for the other site. I was like, look, I could pay you $5 or $10 per article on this site, but these are articles you could do fast, and we need to do them at scale. And he was happy with it.
Right, and we've talked about like low content Kindle books before. I think this is the new version of that because it's way easier to spec out, cheaper to get done, and yeah, you're not going to make $1,000 off one sale, but it's something that I think if you're on the fence about the type of things that we talk about, like building an online business, and it seems like a lot of work for you, this really, you can, in a weekend, if you want to do it, drink a pot of coffee, bang out like 100, 200 articles, and boom, you have a website up.
We should do a challenge one day. Just us two.
What do you want to do?
Come up with a query site like this. Bang out the articles
ourselves.
It's not really.
If we live stream it like a telethon.
Yeah, no, we'll live stream it.
All right. I mean, if you really want to do that.
I mean, let us know as the
if
viewer.
You want to see the 24-hour Bow telethon where we make an SEO site. So, well, I guess to summarize, what do you got to do to make a $500 per month Bogus website?
Exactly what we showed you. Find a query like we're talking about with is something made in China that has a lot of different things to scale out into. A similar question being asked about different things. Install WordPress and start, getting these articles done. And then once you're at, 10,000 views per month, apply to an ad network and let the revenue roll in.
Yeah. So if you want to find out more about how we build our online website portfolio, where do they got to go, Joe?
buildassetsonline.com/playbook. You already know what it is, or that's the way they say it nowadays, right?
Take it easy.